Hey there, everyone. Welcome back to Learn English with Podcast. I'm Maria, your friendly language guide, and I'm so excited to dive into today's episode with you.
And I'm Luca, here to bring you some fun and practical ways to level up your English skills.
If you've ever wondered how to improve your English quickly, without spending hours in a classroom, this episode is for you. Today, we're talking about something powerful: how to learn English from your surroundings. Sounds interesting, right?
Absolutely. Whether you're walking down the street, in a cafe, or just at home, there's a whole world of English around you. And today, we'll share how to turn everyday moments into opportunities to learn and practice.
We'll talk about how listening to conversations, reading signs, and even speaking out loud in your own space can make you fluent faster. The best part? It's all fun and natural. No pressure, just real-world learning.
So, grab your headphones, relax, and get ready for some exciting tips that'll make learning English feel easy and enjoyable.
Let's get started.
Excuse me. I want. Coffee. Black. No sugar.
Luca, what was that? Are you trying to order coffee or confuse the poor barista?
Hey, I'm just channeling my inner English beginner. You know, the one who's super nervous about saying anything wrong and ends up sounding like a robot.
Well, you nailed the nervous part. But guess what? That's where most people start, and it's completely normal.
Exactly. And here's the best part. You don't need a fancy classroom or a boring textbook to learn English. You just need, drum roll please, your surroundings.
Your surroundings? You mean like your noisy neighborhood or the cafe you just embarrassed yourself in?
Exactly. Trust me, Maria. English is all around us. Ads, signs, conversations, TV shows, even that annoying guy who never stops talking on the phone in public.
True. So today we're going to show you how to turn your everyday surroundings into your personal English classroom. No stress, just fun.
And maybe a little embarrassment too. But hey, that's how you learn.
Let's dive into it. How to learn fast English from your surroundings. Luca, have you ever thought about how much English we absorb just by being aware of what's around us?
Oh, absolutely. Like last week, I was at a coffee shop and the menu said latte art available. I had no idea what that meant, so I asked the barista. Turns out, it's the fancy designs they make with milk foam. I learned a new phrase just because I was curious.
Exactly. That's the beauty of learning from your surroundings. English is everywhere if you look for it. I remember when I was learning English, I picked up so many words just from store signs and product labels.
Right? I once saw a sign that said, "Caution, wet floor," and at first I thought it was warning me about a slippery floor. But nope, I slipped anyway. At least I learned the word caution.
That's the thing, Luca. Our surroundings are full of opportunities to learn English. It's just about paying attention. Think about it. Signs, menus, billboards, advertisements, announcements at the train station. All of these are tools waiting to be used.
And the best part? You don't have to sit in a classroom or study grammar for hours. It's like learning on autopilot. You just observe, absorb, and boom, new words stick in your brain.
Exactly. And it's not just about the words. You also pick up how they're used in real life. For example, phrases like limited time only or buy one, get one free. These teach you context and tone without you even realizing it.
So true. And hey, if you're lucky, your surroundings might even give you free vocabulary lessons with a side of entertainment.
Absolutely. That's why paying attention to your environment is step one for learning fast English. Now let's talk about how to make the most of those opportunities. So, Luca, let's talk about step one: observation. When it comes to learning English, your eyes are just as important as your ears.
Totally agree. I mean, everywhere you look, there's English just waiting to be discovered. It's like a treasure hunt. But, Maria, how exactly can someone turn regular things like signs and posters into learning tools?
Great question. First, start with the most obvious things: signs, menus, and advertisements. Look at the words, phrases, and even the images. For example, if you're at a cafe, read the menu carefully. You'll see words like beverage, refreshing, or iced. These are great for building vocabulary.
Oh, I do that all the time. Once, I saw a sign at a bakery that said freshly baked bread daily. I mean, I knew the word fresh, but freshly baked taught me how to use it in a different way.
Exactly. And it's not just about recognizing words, it's about understanding their usage. When you see a phrase, write it down. Later, you can look it up or even try using it in a sentence. Over time, your vocabulary will grow naturally.
Another thing that helps? Joining the dots. If you see a phrase like free entry at a museum and later hear someone say, it's free to enter, you'll start understanding how the same idea can be expressed differently.
I love that idea, Luca. And to take it further, pay attention to instructions and warnings. For example, on cleaning products, you'll often see phrases like keep out of reach of children or shake well before use. These are real-world phrases you can apply.
And don't forget to have fun with it. Learning English is way more exciting when it feels like an adventure.
And it's not just the words. You can also observe how they're formatted. For example, uppercase letters might indicate something important, like do not enter. This teaches you how emphasis works in English.
True, I once learned the phrase, what's the catch, just by overhearing a market deal. It stuck because it sounded so natural.
That's a great point, Luca. And you can even take it a step further by imitating what you see. If you hear someone say, excuse me, do you know where the nearest bank is? You can practice saying the same thing later. Repetition helps solidify the phrases.
Oh, I have another fun challenge. Pick one location, like a park or a shopping mall, and write down every English word you see. You'll be amazed at how much you find.
I love that. And to make it even more effective, try to use the words you find in sentences. For example, if you see the word sale, you can create a sentence like, I bought this shirt on sale. It's a great way to reinforce what you've observed.
Another thing that helps? Joining the dots. If you see a phrase like free entry at a museum and later hear someone say, it's free to enter, you'll start understanding how the same idea can be expressed differently.
Exactly, Luca. The key is to stay curious and treat your surroundings as your personal English teacher. Keep your eyes open, take notes, and you'll be amazed at how much you can learn.
And don't forget to have fun with it. Learning English is way more exciting when it feels like an adventure.
Absolutely. So next time you step outside, remember, every street, store, and sign is a classroom waiting to be explored. Listening is a game changer for learning English. It helps you pick up pronunciation, tone, and natural phrases.
True, I once learned the phrase, what's the catch, just by overhearing a market deal. It stuck because it sounded so natural.
Exactly. Everyday conversations, announcements, and even background chatter are learning opportunities. Focus on key words instead of trying to understand everything.
Public places are perfect for this. Train stations, airports, or even cafes. Announcements like, the train is arriving at platform 2, are practical lessons.
Don't forget music and podcasts. Songs teach informal language, while podcasts like this one help with vocabulary and clear speech.
Movies and TV shows are great too. Turn on subtitles if needed, and try repeating lines to practice pronunciation.
And most importantly, don't just listen passively. Take notes of phrases or words you hear, and try using them in your daily conversations.
Absolutely, the more you listen, the better your ears adapt to understanding English in real-life settings.
So make it a habit. Whether it's tuning into a podcast, listening to music, or simply paying attention to conversations around you, your ears are powerful tools for learning.
All right, Maria, we've talked about listening and observing, but now it's time to dive into speaking. And let me tell you, speaking doesn't have to be scary or stressful. It can be fun.
Exactly. The more natural and relaxed you are, the easier it will be to speak confidently. So let's start with one key tip. Don't overthink it.
That's a big one. You know, when I first started speaking English, I was always afraid of making mistakes. But then I realized making mistakes is part of learning. Just like when kids start speaking, they make errors, but they keep going.
Right? The more you speak, the more comfortable you become. It's all about practice. And speaking doesn't have to be formal or perfect. You can practice in casual settings, like talking to a friend or even to yourself.
Speaking to yourself, huh? Sounds a bit crazy.
Not at all. In fact, I recommend it. Try narrating your day. For example, I'm going to the store now. I need milk and eggs. You're speaking English, and you're building confidence in a relaxed environment.
That's a good one. And let's not forget about practicing with native speakers. It's one of the fastest ways to improve. You can do this through language exchange apps or even meetups in your city.
Yes, but even if you don't have access to native speakers, talking to anyone who's willing to practice with you is helpful. The key is to keep the conversation going no matter what.
Here's another fun idea. Learn phrases, not just individual words. For instance, instead of memorizing dog, learn the phrase walk the dog. It's more practical and makes you sound more natural when speaking.
That's true. Phrases are key. They help you sound less like a dictionary and more like a fluent speaker. And here's another tip. Don't be afraid to mimic accents or the way people speak. It's a great way to make your speech sound more authentic.
That's one of my favorite tricks. I watch a lot of TV shows and repeat lines exactly as the characters say them. It feels weird at first, but it helps me get the rhythm and tone right.
That's exactly the kind of practice you need. Speaking is all about rhythm, tone, and fluidity. If you get too caught up in grammar, you'll sound robotic. So let loose and have fun with it.
Totally. And even if you're speaking to someone who doesn't understand perfectly, don't worry. They'll appreciate the effort, and you'll learn from every conversation. Remember, it's all about progress, not perfection.
One more thing I always tell people. Speak loudly and clearly. Even if you're nervous, speaking with confidence helps a lot. And don't hesitate to ask if you don't understand something or if you're unsure about a word. People love helping.
And it's all part of making speaking fun. The more you practice, the more comfortable and natural it feels. And soon enough, speaking English will be second nature.
So, the secret to speaking fluently is simple. Practice, be confident, and most importantly, have fun with it. So, to wrap up, learning English from your surroundings is all about observation, listening, and speaking naturally. You have everything you need around you, whether it's signs, conversations, or even the music you listen to.
Exactly. And remember, don't stress about making mistakes. It's all part of the journey. The more you immerse yourself in English, the quicker you'll learn.
Right? So here's our challenge for you listeners. For the next week, pay attention to your surroundings. Observe the words and phrases you encounter. Listen to conversations and practice speaking, even if it's just to yourself.
We want you to be creative with it. Share with us what new phrases you've learned from your surroundings. Whether it's a catchy slogan, a sentence from a podcast, or something you overheard in a cafe, let us know.
Remember, learning English can be fun, and your surroundings are full of opportunities to improve. Keep practicing, stay curious, and enjoy the process.
That's it for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in, and we can't wait to hear about your language learning adventures.
Good luck and happy learning, everyone!
Thank you for watching. Your journey to better English and unstoppable confidence starts here. Like, share, and subscribe. Let's keep growing together. See you in the next video.